Later in life, Popper regarded himself openly as a conservative. This can be explained if we look at Popper's theory of traditions or his rational theory of traditions. For Popper, traditions were shared solutions to common problems. We need traditions. In a sense, we are all traditional, not just people who regard themselves as traditional, because insofar as we do anything, generally, any action is based upon any action that went before. Even something as mundane as washing the dishes, you might just think you're just washing the dishes, but that is tradition laden in a sense that in Western countries, dishes are washed in one way. In, say, Vietnam, they wash dishes in a very different way. And this is where the use of traditions come in, because we can see that it makes life a lot easier if we have an already established routine or way of managing life's little problems, life's little day-to-day needs. And if it's difficult to, if something as simple as washing the dishes requires a kind of, well, requires tradition, requires knowledge to be handed down from parents to children, that kind of thing. Well, what about the more complex aspects of day-to-day life? Of course, then they would require traditions to manage. Life's so complex that you don't want to be thinking about every little thing, inventing the wheel every time you move around the house and navigate your environment and interact with people. Traditions just make that a lot easier, and most of our traditions are subconscious or semi-conscious. We're not really conscious of them. They're just ingrained within us. Um, Importantly for Popper was the need to become more aware or more conscious of these traditions that we use in our day-to-day lives, and where needed to be able to reform them or modify them, to change them. This is why his theory of traditions was regarded as a rational theory, because we can change our traditions. However, why he was conservative was because he regarded that changing traditions comes at a risk, because any little change you make somewhere has certain implications, and the larger changes you make, the more radical the implications are, and we don't know the implications of any changes to traditions we make are. So in that sense, he was on the side of erring on a side of caution when making changes to our particular traditions, whether they're mundane traditions such as changing the way we wash the dishes or wash our hands, or more profound traditions such as changing the way we educate our children or the way we live with people. So, in that sense, he understood the need for evolution in this domain, that traditions need to evolve and constantly evolve, but at the same time we need to be cautious about the way we evolve our traditions. So that puts him on a conservative side, but it's also not a view of conservatism as being something that's stagnant, fixed, atrophied, but a view of conservatism as being evolutionary, and being orientated towards the future and utilizing incremental change as a way of moving forward.